last time on Dragon Ball Z.
And now, the conclusion.
But yeah, I mentioned before that they referenced the prototype, and I knew he wasn't going to be in the final fight because he's like some alien Godzilla-like monster in a movie that Maria and Shadow are watching. And the movie says like Attack of the Terrible Alien or something, which Shadow finds like racist. And they're looking at the stars when he's all depressed about being an alien and everybody being afraid of him. And he thinks, you know, they're afraid of me the same way they'd be afraid of that monster. And that's when they had this speech about like the stars and everything. But it was like a puppet monster version of the ultimate life form, I think, because I'm pretty sure I saw a thing on its back and pipes leading up to its mouth. So I knew anyway that he wasn't going to be there. I already figured. Not everything is one for one, obviously, with these movies, but seeing that, I knew for sure, like, there's no prototype but plugin. And then they have, like, the Sonic the Fighters ending animation thing, except they leave Sonic's arms blue, and then it's cool seeing Shadow's like Sonic the Fighters model in an official capacity. And Live and Learn makes an appearance a few times. Like, they really play it, a sort of remix of it when Shadow and Sonic decide to work together on the moon. And then there's like the disaster music that like plays when I think the Ark is threatening the Earth at the end of SA2. That's like in the credits and maybe in the rest of the movie, but I mostly noticed it in the credits. And then there's some song from one of the games. They just say written by Sega. Like, oh. If you write something for Sega, they own you and your soul. Just some final other notes that are fucking weird. The general guy I mentioned before, I think he dies because they get attacked by Gerald using Eggman technology to like bait everybody into finding him, and a table is on top of him after an explosion, and it seems like he just dies because they're even like, General, and that's it. And when the married couple people are infiltrating Gun, at one point there's 2 activation keys needed for the Eclipse cannon, and to get one of them, Tom turns into the general guy, and there's this evil like specious gun lady that hates the anthropomorphic animals and whatnot, who you think is going to be a big villain. She runs into him and she's like, General? And she's amazed he's alive, and he uses the disguise to get the key. Then that's when Shadow punches him and takes it, and notices, oh shit, that's not the general that I hate that helped kill Maria. Even though he didn't, he tried to stop it. Well, where was I? Yeah, anyway, evil racist lady, that's like the end of her. She just fucks off after giving the key over. You see her like a couple times throughout the movie, just sort of hating aliens. Yeah, she ends up not really being a threat. You don't see Kristen Ritter again. Yeah, it was like the worst death if that's how he went out, because it was so sudden. But he was a terrible actor. He was so bad. He was like the butler from the Spider-Man movies, the Sam Raimi trilogy. I think somebody just knew him and were like, let's just put him in. Yeah, and then everyone's allowed to leave the gun compound after that whole mess of getting that key. Shadow shows up, attacks, Knuckles comes in and helps and breaks things. Everything's fucked. And they all just leave. Walk right out the door. They get like an ambulance to come get Tom because he's unconscious. And yeah, I'm gonna have to break this up. This is 30 fucking minutes of me talking about hedgehog things. Oh, actually, finally, there was the end credits scene, which reveals Amy. That's how they say her name in Sonic Advance too. I always thought it was funny. It lives right free in my head. It won't go away. Help. But there's a bunch of Metal Sonics, the real Sonics. Well, it starts with just one, and he's about to shoot Sonic, and Sonic's like, if you're gonna hit the fastest thing alive, you better not fucking miss. And then there's more of them that show up, and then Amy smashes them all with her hammer, and yeah, she's Amy, she's there. She debuted after Shadow, but I'm assuming there's gonna be some Sonic Heroes kind of thing going with Metal Sonic. There's probably a Neo Metal Sonic in charge of it all, or maybe a big red Metal Sonic. I don't know. Movies. These are... Yeah, I liked this movie. I'd actually give it like an 8. Sonic 2, maybe like a 6. Sonic 1, like a 4 or a 5. This one, I think, finally did it all pretty well. If you can forgive just the sheer crap of the Eggmans being Eggmans, Jim Carrey Eggmans, doing Jim Connor, but had a lot of heart. They really did the story of Shadow and Maria very well. Gerald got a little fucky, but he was still kind of cool. Kind of. Eggman had like a cool redemption scene. Yeah, it was a Sonic movie. It was the best of them. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, like, in my review, that reference reminded me. There's a point where fucking where Sonic, Tails, and Knuckle are leaving a helicopter to go confront Shadow, and they say the whole Shadow. Sonic says, "This in-flight movie is bad, or tape it." You know, just like from City Escape when he's escaping from Gun. Except he's like, "We're out of here." So that was cool. There's like little noises and shit too they used in the movie that was from the games, and sorry. Oh, and also, I gotta hear him.
Huh? Is that me? Huh? I've taken on another form?
Yep. You sound like Keanu.
I feel as if I've
I was hoping he would be that Shadow. But yeah, there's in Tokyo, before they run into Shadow, or after they get beat up by him, they go to a Chow Garden, which is like the most popular restaurant thing in Japan, I guess.
Looks like I've kept
Chow or some weird mascot thing, and they also mention Pikachu. Knuckles is laughing and making Pikachu noises after somebody says Tails looks like Detective Pikachu. A child thought he was supposed to be him. It was weird. So that was like Chow Gardens. And, yeah. They make Pokemon references